Every second, somewhere in the world, 3 pairs of sneakers roll off a factory production line. By the time you finish watching this video, over 30,000 pairs will have been manufactured. But what most people don't realize is that the shoe on your foot right now passed through over 200 individual production steps in the hands of nearly 60 different workers before it reached you. This isn't just footwear. It's one of the most complex consumer products ever mass-produced, and the way it's made is nothing short of extraordinary. Walk into any room and you'll find sneakers. They're worn by athletes breaking world records, students rushing to class, and workers standing for 12-hour shifts. The global sneaker industry produces over 23 billion pairs every year, generating more than $300 billion in revenue. Yet almost no one knows what actually happens inside the factories that create them. The process is so intricate, so precisely choreographed, that a single mistake at any stage can ruin an entire batch. Today, we're going inside the world's biggest shoe factories to see exactly how sneakers go from raw materials to the finished product you lace up every morning. It all begins thousands of miles away from any factory floor, in petroleum refineries and rubber plantations. The modern sneaker is a chemical marvel, and its foundation starts with crude oil. Petroleum derivatives are transformed into synthetic materials that will become everything from the mesh upper to the foam midsole. Meanwhile, in tropical regions across Southeast Asia and Africa, rubber trees are tapped for natural latex, which will be blended with synthetic compounds to create the outsole. Cotton fields supply the raw fibers for laces and inner linings, while polyester manufacturing plants spin the textiles that form the shoe's structure. Before a single sneaker takes shape, materials from at least 15 different countries must converge. These raw materials arrive at factories in massive rolls, pellets, and sheets. Walk into the receiving area of a major sneaker factory, and you'll see warehouse spaces larger than football fields, stacked floor to ceiling with fabric rolls in every color imaginable. Quality inspectors examine every shipment, because one defective batch of material can compromise thousands of shoes. They check tensile strength, color consistency, chemical composition, and durability ratings. A fabric that's just 5% weaker than specification will fail during wear testing, and the entire order gets rejected. This happens more often than you'd think. The first real transformation begins in the cutting room, and this is where things get interesting. Industrial cutting machines, guided by computer patterns, slice through layers of fabric with blades that can cut 60 sheets simultaneously. The precision required here is extreme. A deviation of just 2 millimeters can make a shoe component unusable. For a single sneaker, between 40 and 65 individual pieces must be cut, depending on the design complexity. Premium models require even more. Each piece is coded and grouped because if parts from different batches are mixed, color variations become visible in the finished product. Workers sort these components into bins, ensuring left and right shoe parts never get confused. It sounds simple, but mismatched pieces are one of the top causes of production line shutdowns. Now comes one of the most labor-intensive stages in the entire process: stitching and assembly of the upper. This is the part of the shoe that wraps around your foot, and it's where human skill still dominates over automation. Skilled sewers operate specialized machines that can produce over 3,000 stitches per minute, joining together the mesh panels, leather overlays, synthetic supports, and decorative elements. Each seam must align perfectly. If stitching is even slightly off, the shoe won't fit correctly, and structural stress points will fail prematurely. A single upper might require 15 different sewing operations, each performed by a different specialist. One worker attaches the toe box, another reinforces the heel counter, a third adds the tongue, and another integrates the lacing system.
Rhythm of progress.
The coordination is like an assembly line ballet. While uppers are being constructed, another section of the factory is creating the sole unit, and this process is completely different. It starts with tiny polymer pellets that look like plastic rice. These pellets are fed into injection molding machines, where they're heated to over 400 degrees Fahrenheit until they become a thick, molten liquid. This liquid is injected under immense pressure into precision molds shaped exactly like the midsole. Within seconds, the material expands and cools, forming the cushioned layer that will absorb impact with every step you take. But here's the critical part. The temperature, pressure, and cooling time must be controlled to within fractions of a degree and fractions of a second. Too hot and the foam becomes too soft. Too cool and it doesn't expand properly, leaving the shoe with no cushioning. The margin for error is razor thin. At the same time, the outsole is being created through a process called vulcanization. Rubber compounds are mixed with carbon black, sulfur, and various additives that determine grip, durability, and flexibility. This mixture is placed into heated molds where it's subjected to extreme pressure and temperatures reaching 300 degrees. The heat triggers a chemical reaction that permanently bonds the rubber molecules together, creating a material that's both flexible and incredibly tough. The tread pattern is molded into the outsole during this process, and engineers spend months designing these patterns to optimize traction for specific surfaces. Basketball shoes have different tread than running shoes, which differ from skateboarding shoes. Each pattern is the result of thousands of hours of testing. If you're enjoying seeing how things are really made behind the scenes, take a second to like the video and subscribe. It helps more than you think, and it lets us keep bringing you inside factories like this one. Now we reach the stage where everything comes together, and this is where the process gets remarkably complex. The upper, midsole, and outsole must be united into a single functional unit, and the primary method is called cement lasting. Workers apply industrial adhesive to both the bottom edge of the upper and the top surface of the midsole. These adhesives are specifically formulated to bond fabric and foam, creating a connection stronger than either material alone. But the adhesive must be applied in exactly the right amount. Too little, and the shoe will separate during use. Too much, and it seeps out, ruining the appearance and potentially weakening the bond. Workers have about 30 seconds to position the parts perfectly before the adhesive sets. The assembled shoe is then placed into a heated press that applies thousands of pounds of pressure for a precise duration. This activates the adhesive and ensures complete bonding. The pressing process also shapes the shoe, giving it the final contours and proportions. Different parts of the shoe require different pressure levels. The toe needs less pressure than the heel. The sides need different treatment than the top. These variables are programmed into the pressing machines, but experienced workers still monitor every cycle because mechanical failures can happen instantly and ruin dozens of shoes before anyone notices. Once the upper is bonded to the midsole, the outsole is attached using a similar, but even more demanding process. The bonding surface must be perfectly clean because even microscopic dust particles can prevent proper adhesion. The rubber outsole is treated with primers that chemically prepare it to bond with the midsole foam. Then more adhesive, more precise positioning, and another round of heat and pressure. At this point, the shoe is structurally complete, but it's far from finished. Quality control happens continuously, but there's a dedicated inspection station where every single shoe is examined by trained inspectors. They check for over 150 specific defects: misaligned stitching, color inconsistencies, adhesive residue, uneven sole attachment, material flaws, incorrect components, and structural weaknesses. Inspectors flex the shoe, examining how it bends. They check the heel counter stiffness, ensuring it provides proper support. They verify that left and right shoes match perfectly in color and finish. Approximately 3 to 7% of shoes fail this inspection and are either repaired if possible or scrapped entirely. For premium brands, defect rates must stay below 1%, which means inspection standards are even more rigorous. Shoes that pass inspection move to the finishing department, where laces are threaded, insoles are inserted, and branding elements are added. This seems simple, but even lacing follows a specific pattern that affects both appearance and function. The insole isn't just dropped in. It's positioned and sometimes adhered to prevent slipping. Brand logos, size labels, and care instruction tags are applied with precision because crooked labels suggest poor quality, even if the shoe itself is perfectly made. Then comes packaging, which is itself a carefully designed process. Each shoe is stuffed with tissue paper to maintain its shape during shipping. The pair is wrapped, placed in the branded box with any included accessories like extra laces or shoe care instructions, and the box is sealed. Barcodes are scanned, inventory systems are updated, and the shoes are sorted by style, size, and destination. Boxes are stacked on pallets, wrapped in protective film, and prepared for shipping containers that will carry them across oceans. The scale of this operation is staggering. A single large factory can produce 50,000 pairs of sneakers per day. Workers operate in shifts around the clock, keeping production lines running continuously. The factory floor might employ 5,000 people. With each worker specializing in one specific task, they'll repeat thousands of times per shift. This specialization creates incredible efficiency, but it also means the entire system is interdependent. If one station falls behind, the entire line slows down. Modern factories increasingly incorporate automation, but sneaker production still resists full automation because of the complexity involved. Robots excel at repetitive, precise tasks like cutting and molding, but the assembly of soft materials with variable thicknesses and textures still requires human dexterity and judgment. Engineers have been trying to automate sneaker assembly for decades, and while progress continues, the completely automated sneaker factory remains elusive. The most advanced facilities use a hybrid approach where robots handle material preparation and quality scanning, while humans perform assembly and inspection. Innovation never stops in this industry. New materials are constantly being developed. Foam compounds that provide better cushioning with less weight. Fabrics made from recycled ocean plastic. Knitted uppers that reduce waste by eliminating the need for cut and sew assembly. 3D printed midsoles customized to individual foot shapes. Some manufacturers are experimenting with biodegradable materials that break down after the shoe's useful life, addressing the environmental impact of billions of shoes ending up in landfills every year. The speed at which this entire process happens is remarkable. From the moment raw materials enter the factory to the moment finished shoes leave for distribution centers, the entire cycle takes approximately 3 to 5 days for most models. Limited edition or highly technical shoes might take longer, but standard production models move through the system with incredible velocity. This speed is essential because fashion trends change rapidly and retailers demand quick turnaround times. What's truly fascinating is how this process has been refined over decades to achieve consistency at massive scale. Every pair of shoes in a production run of 100,000 must be essentially identical. The pair manufactured on day 1 must match the pair made on day 20. This consistency requires standardized processes, rigorous quality control, and sophisticated inventory management. Material batches are tracked so precisely that if a defect is discovered, manufacturers can identify every shoe made from that batch and recall them if necessary. The journey of a sneaker from petroleum and rubber trees to your closet involves cutting-edge technology, traditional craftsmanship, global supply chains, and thousands of individual decisions made by workers and machines. It's a process that balances artistry and engineering, human skill and automation, speed and precision. The shoe that seems so simple when you slip it on represents one of the most complex manufacturing achievements in consumer products. Next time you lace up your sneakers, you'll see them differently. You'll know about the 60 people whose hands touched various components, the 200 production steps, the chemical reactions that created the foam and rubber, and the quality inspections that ensured everything came together perfectly. If you want to go inside more factories and see how other everyday products are really made, subscribe and let us know in the comments what you want to see manufactured next. Thanks for watching.